Oh hey, DM Scotty here. Welcome to another episode of Short Tip. I had a viewer ask me about making stalagmites, and I have a great way to do it. It's super cheap, easy to do, and I'm going to show you right now. But one thing I wanted to mention was I would love to see any terrain that you guys out there are making. So send to my email address here, and just put DM's Craft Picks in the tagline, and I'll check it out and see what you got, and send those pics. I'd love to see them. Let's get on to making those stalagmites. Hey, welcome to the DM's Craft. Today I've got a really super easy and fun way to make stalagmites, those things that grow up from the bottom of caves over time. So right now I've just got a toilet roll tube. So what I'm going to do is start to form this. So I'll just stick a couple fingers in and just twist it up. Take my fingers out and just do some more twisting. Till I get kind of an interesting shape. Okay, so there I've got pretty interesting shape there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some cardstock that I have and grab that. So here I've got my cardstock. Now I'll take the stalagmite, put it on there, and I'm just going to trace around so some extra room. Okay, so there I've got that. So now I've got a base for the stalagmite, so now I'm going to cut it out. So there I've got my base, and here's my stalagmite, so I will put it on there. Now I'm going to use my trusty glue gun, my friend, and I'm going to put some glue around the base of the toilet tube. Smooth that out a little bit. So there we go, just a super easy way to make that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some texture to it with the glue gun. You could skip this step, you could just paint this as is, just base paint it black and then paint it how it is, but I want to add a little more texture to it, so I'm going to take my glue gun and just start. I want to cover up those lines too, where the tube connects. So this will do twofold. It'll not only make it sturdier, it'll and give it some interest. It'll cover up those lines on the tube. Now I'm putting some on the base too to give it some texture. And I have the stalagmite very well covered with hot glue, and now we'll paint that up with the flat black and see what it looks like. So here we have the stalagmite all painted, base painted black. You can see how interesting that looks. It looks nothing like a toilet roll anymore. You could also do things with this, like you could make this like a stump in a forest where the trees are all decimated, that kind of thing too. So don't be limited by thinking of it like stalagmite. You could do all kinds of stuff with this. So what I'll do now is I've got it base painted black, so I'm just going to dry brush it with a dark gray, and that's how I'll start. So I'll just put paint on the brush, And I'm not putting any water on this. So I'll just go over the surface and I'll let the natural indentations in the surface create the shading. See how that pops right out there? And I've only done one of these, but when you do this, you want to do more than one. You want to do half a dozen or so. And then you can always just reuse these. Since these are on a base, you could use them in any caves. You could also cut them at different heights. You wouldn't have to make them all the same height. If you wanted to make them shorter, just cut the base. When you crinkle the tube, just cut the base off of it. So there we go. I've got that all painted gray. And now what I'll do is I'll let that dry, and then we'll do a highlight on it. Now my gray is dry, so I'm going to hit it with a lighter gray. Now remember, when you're doing the highlights, you don't want to kill it. I'm going to get some, just like I did with the dark gray, just put a dry brush on there, so I'm not putting any water. Now I'm going to gently go over this, much less gently than I went over with the gray. So just give it some highlights. You don't want to kill it. Pick out those ridges. Yeah, one problem with painting on, some people get a little heavy-handed, so just be gentle. You can always add more. Much harder to take it away. So just be a little gentle, and it'll get on there. All right, so now I'm going to do the base too. So look at that. Look how good that looks. And you can have as many as you want. Just save those toilet paper rolls. And one last thing. You could also add some like moss or something in the cave. So I'm going to use a green. And just kind of a medium green. And then just... Now I'm not going to put that much. I'm just going to get some on the brush. And I'm just going to... a few spots. Just drag it up. So it gives a little bit of interest, and you can do that or not. So there we go. Easy stalagmite, very cheap, easy to make, and I will see you next time on Short Tip.